The men's soccer is the main part of in our program that we are doing with the men because it reduces the stress of the men and it created network.
A lot of these, the youth that we deal with, even though a lot of them are born here, some aren't, some have just come from different countries, and a lot of their parents are new immigrants here too, and where they come from, the police aren't respected, they're feared, and this gives us an opportunity to show them what the police in Canada, and especially what Edmonton, what we offer, and that we're here to help, and we are just part of the community.
These people, they really need the help, they need the guide, they need the information. They came Canada, they don't know nothing about it. They came, for example, they came warm country, and here is winter. They don't know where to go. We have to give them direction, we have to give them information, we have to give them, what they need.
Riri, the Reach Immigrant and Refugee Initiative, began in 2010. From its start, Riri has been a collaboration involving multiple agency partners, with Reach as the backbone coordinating organization. Riri works directly with community members, helping them learn about Canadian laws and systems, building leadership capacity and helping them to feel safer in their new communities.
And they say, well, we can work together in collaboration or in partnership with the communities to address your concerns. It was not Reach Edmonton's concerns, it was the concerns that was coming from the communities.
Community leaders from the Somali, Filipino, Sudanese, Ethiopian, Eritrean, and Oromo communities met and decided to focus on preventing family violence in a cultural context. Over time, this has shifted to building healthy families. Riri uses the cultural navigator model. People like Tigis Dafla, who are trusted community members, work directly with their ethno-cultural community.
They're very new to Canada in a sense of it, and we come from a completely different culture. And that being the case, when they first arrive, many times it's the women who find the job and not the man. And that being the case, that's something that is unheard of, in a sense of a woman going out working and the man is at home taking care of the family. That's something, culturally that we're not used to. So family violence have been issue and, breaking down, as well as a lot of other issues that deals with the family. So the change of role was huge in a newcomers.
Cultural navigators focus on reducing risk factors in the community, like isolation and not understanding Canadian systems. Strengthening protective factors, like feelings of belonging and awareness of services. And developing preventative solutions, like parenting and communication skills.
As a newcomer, when you come here, there's a lot of ways of adjusting. But it's important to first of all, for those who have lived here longer, to tell them this is what I had to go through and this is what I have overcome. This has been my challenges. So this kind of gathering and groups has a whole lot of ways of addressing these issues.
Usually, like the group, we have a kind of meal and we practice a kind of cultural song together, and then we have, as a group, a discussion, to see what are the needs, what are the concerns.
This program, or Reach, is filling the gap that the other organization doesn't fill in, because there were no programs for Syrian men. They have trauma, they have PTSD. As I said, they are human beings. They need program as children, as a youth.
What we try to do is to build community capacity to empower our community, the Syrian community, to encourage the men to discuss their problems, to be able to share their concerns.
2 years after they began meeting, the Syrian men's group started borrowing a truck every weekend to help other families who needed help moving.
The community has started to help itself and the other communities as well. They help the women from Chad, from I think First Nation as well, not just the Syrian. Yes, they are giving back.
The Eritrean-Ethiopian men's group gets together weekly for a soccer game and then a group gathering.
We are trying, to bring them together and discuss about the issue that bothers them a lot. And maybe it's stress at home, maybe it's stress at work. So we would like to talk to them rather than going home and ventilate, their anger to their wife or to their children. So it is reducing as well, family violence as well. So it's helping them this way.
In the beginning, the cultural navigator would be there, twice a week to help organize, and it's a lot of work. But the men have started to organize the soccer sessions themselves. So if there's problems, they problem solve, they figure out what to do, and they've started a little fund. They heard about families who get stuck and sometimes are in a dire financial situation. So they've started a little fund where they all contribute, and then they use that money to help other families.
In 2017, Riri cultural navigator Corey Wyness began working with queer and trans newcomer youth and their families.
That was pretty pioneering for Reach to say and Riri to say, you know what, let's include queer and trans stuff in this conversation and in this work that we're doing. And it was pretty risky, I think, to do. I sit down with the family and just let them share their story and work on some of those fears that they have, and work on what that means that their kid is gay and breaking down those barriers that those families face, in hopes that that then would diminish some of the violence that might happen. In a lot of those communities that we work with, that are ethnocultural communities, if you're perceived as being gay or trans or anything along those lines, people will automatically judge you, they will hate you, can be bullies against you, they can be violent against you. And so this puts a lot of fear into those families and into the youth as well. I want to work to make that family stay together as best we can, because that's important.
What we've heard is that this has had a really positive impact, because not only does it have a positive impact on the families having access to that support, but it really opens up conversations about this to increase people's knowledge.
The Riri Somali group meets monthly, sometimes men and women together, but mostly just the women. They learn about health issues, Canadian food, and much more.
They need information about the community. If they have kids, they have to involve with the community. If they need help from the homework, if they need help from the school, someone is there for them to translate to the school, to the doctors, to everywhere.
For the past 2 years, Eritrean and Ethiopian families have gathered at Lake Nakaman in August for a week of learning, sharing, and fun.
We don't have a lot of opportunity in our community. We are not so much yet doing things together, because we still come from a war-torn country. There's a political, there is religion differences, there's a lot of issues. So that being the case, this is one camp where they come together and they do things with their other peers. Also, some of these kids go to school, sometimes they have identity crisis. This is one place where they see other kids like them and talk about what they're going through and how they overcome it as well. So it's also for youth as well.
PIPE is a 9-day program that works directly with mainly immigrant youth and the police to build better relationships between different communities and the police, and to reduce the bad stigma that police have, as well as build leadership skills, help the participants make new friends, and just have a good summer.
Our vision is less crime and less, problem and less target for the youth vulnerable youth who's newcomers who's coming here. So that's what we are doing. We are not saying we can eliminate everything, but we are saying to, increase the knowledge of the youth they have from the society, and they know what to do, and they can have their, right choices when they are doing their own choices. So that's what we are looking.
Pipe allows people to do a lot more than you think. You can gain leadership, volunteer opportunities, there's so much more.
One of the joys I've had from this Riri project is being able to get partners, husband and wife, talking about these issues that are so challenging, being able to talk with their children, being able to dialogue.
Next 10 years, I hope no culture navigators. Because once we have no culture navigators, that means we are very good. We are doing well.
When I can see a youth smile and feel good about being themselves and who they are, and especially when the family is good with that too, that's some good success. Yeah.
I want to see good citizens and supporting others. It's not only to receive, but it's to give back to the community. 10 years from now, I want to see our community doing the same what which is doing.